there's other disasters that are coming. When you look at the level of unemployment, especially on the youth in this country, the way it's escalating, it's a disaster in waiting.
Ayikho into ebuhlungu njengale esho General Mkhwanazi ngoba kubukeka sengathi laba basemandleni abayinakile. Kubukeka engathi ayinakiwe. Ngibone iyouth izolo ebiphumile. Ibizwe ilakho ukuthi abake baphume baye kuma companies ahlukahlukeneyo bawufaka ama CV. Ngabona abantu bebengama 1000 mhlambe mangathiwa labantu bafikele ku 1500 ngingavuma ngendlela bebebaningi ngayo. Ngabuka ukuthi hey ikusasa lalezwe leli. Ngikhuluma mina ngabantu abangekho sema university futhi abasebenzi. Kodwa bakhona nje baselokishini. Ngifisa sikhulume ngalo kodwa ngaphambi basifike lapho cela siqale la.
You gave us slogans instead of solutions, speeches instead of systems, and now we are drowning in unemployment, corruption, and betrayal, wondering if freedom was a promise or a performance. You speak of legacy, of Oliver Tambo, of giants who came before, but you forgot that legacy means nothing if it doesn't feed the living. We cannot eat legacy. You cannot build on nostalgia.
Ibo labantu ebengikhuluma ngabo ama thousands we youth ase South Africa engasebenzi. Ngikhuluma ngabantu laba basethembisa kuphela. Ngiyacabanga abantu abakothembisa laba babebeke kulama company ngapha ko Model Fontaine. Kodwa kukhona umuntu ozosichazela kabanzi osebenzela iEWN okuyi Eyewitness News okuyena obekhona lapha. Kodwa ngizama ukukuvezela nje inqwaba yabantu abangasebenzi. Asikhulumi ngeSouth Africa yonke la, asikhulumi ngeGauteng yonke, sikhuluma ngethembisa kuphela.
So we are currently in the heart of a protest where thousands of unemployed youth have descended upon the streets of Tembisa and Midrand. Now, what they have in hand are CVs, and they are dropping these CVs at various factories and warehouses, some wearing casual clothes, some clad in overalls. And essentially what they're calling for are employment opportunities. They've accused a number of these factories and a number of these warehouses of employing foreign nationals, and they're saying that these foreign nationals are occupying jobs that belong to young unemployed South Africans. So far, what we understand from the thousands that have descended here is that only 15 were presented with job opportunities, and a further 6 promised some prospects of employment, but they're not too keen on this. They don't really believe it, saying that they want more to happen. What we also do understand is that they are going to descend upon the same areas tomorrow in the hopes that some of their concerns will be answered and potential employment opportunities given to them. I'll continue to give you rolling coverage of this particular story.
Asibonga MK lakho ethathe leli xathu lokuthi imemezela ukuthi youth abaphume beyofaka ama CV. Siyazi khona ukuthi ukuqashwa kwabantu abawu15 out of lama thousands ebesiwabona akwenzi lutho, kodwa empilweni zalaba abaqashiwe umkhulu umehluko wenzekile. And bathinta udaba olu-interesting kakhulu mabethinta udaba lokuthi imisebenzi khona eSouth Africa kodwa ivinjwe ukuthi ama-companies ase-South Africa aqasha abantu abangama-foreigners. Angifuni ukusho mina, ngifuna ukucaphunela ivideo la kukhuluma khona imember ye-ANC eyatshelwa uTito Mboweni. Ngifuna uzwe ngemember ye-ANC eyatshelwa yenye imember ye-ANC ithi ingaxazululeka lenkinga kodwa inkinga ekhona ngiyaphinda namanje i-political will. Ngicela uzwe la.
You know, you can't get out of this gathering for 4 days and not talk about illegal immigrants at all and how to deal with it.
We are definitely going to talk about it. And I don't know how much time do you have with me to tell you what Tito told me.
Okay, tell me.
Every time when we discuss the issue of foreign nationals. So the president convened an expanded cabinet Lekgotla. So when I got in, fortunately, I was sitting next to Tito as the former Minister of Finance. It was just after COVID, and we were discussing the economic strategy in order to ensure that we pump in energy into the economy of the country to create the much needed job opportunities and to ensure that we grow the economy. So there was the strategy right post COVID. And I was sitting next to Tito. And the target from that strategy was to create 2.5 million jobs within a period of 3 years. That would be the period during the economic rebound post-COVID. So Comrade Tito confided to him. He said, no, we can create these jobs within 3 months. I said to him, but what do you mean within 3 months that we can create 2.5 million jobs? He said, I'm sitting with the report as the Minister of Finance that there's more than 2.5 million jobs in this country, elementary jobs, low-level jobs, which are occupied by foreign nationals. And he said, if we can introduce laws to stop that and strengthen the capacity of the Department of Labor with labor inspectorates and make it a crime for appointment of illegal foreign nationals, we will be able to create those jobs within the next 3 months. So it's a burning issue, and we need to resolve it. Just this year, for the first quarter of 2025, Northern Cape, we experienced increase in the levels of unemployment. And because in the formal sector, which include agricultural sector, we lost about 16,000 jobs. From the 16,000 jobs, about 8,000 were from the agricultural sector. When we engage with the agricultural sector and ask them, but why is this thing happening? At the time when we are expecting the agricultural sector to create jobs, they are shedding jobs. And then the leaders of the agricultural sector said, no, it's not because we've shedded jobs. It's simply because the farmers now are taking on board foreign nationals to work on farms.
Le video yango 2025 lo baba watshelwa uTito after COVID, asike sithi nje ngo2021 noma late ngo2020, ukuthi une report yena njengoba uMinister of Finance imisebenzi le abane plan yayo ukuthi in 3 months bangabe sebekhande 2.5 million jobs, bangakwazi ukuyikhanda in 3 months. Instead of 3 years, bangakwazi ukuyikhanda in 3 months ngoba imisebenzi khona but is occupied by foreign nationals. Njengobuzo kusho yena, kusho wayikhuluma kahle neSowetan. Uzisholwa yena ukuthi imisebenzi ikhona. Ingakho ngithe there is no political will. Akwazi ukuthi kungenzeka into enje ebese thina siyahlala sithi ya imisebenzi ayikho silalela labantu. Ngiyasho namanje siya kuma local government elections, abantu abaregister for ukuvota bese sivota kahle, cause labantu esibavotela abayin power manje they don't care. Imagine ukuthi kusuke iorganization eye MK immobilize youth ifunela abantu ibathathe lawo bantu laba ihambe nabo, bahlulwa yini ke laba basemandleni laba banamandla. Uzwile ukuthi thina nomuntu uthe nje masinga if wathi uTito Mboweni uma nje singa strengthenisha ama laws then sisiphe iDepartment of Labor amandla yonke into ingalunga, kodwa yonke lento ayenzeki because there is no political will. Uvuyo Zungulu eseParliament uke wayikhuluma yona le ndaba, hayi kanye ngizokucaphunela amavideo akhe awu2 akhuluma ngayo lento unemployment. Ngifuna nje ukucaphunela amavideo uze ukuthi hayi ukuthi lezi zinto abazazi laba basiphethe, hayi ukuthi abazi ukuthi kunale nkinga ekhona, kodwa abanendaba ngoba bona nemindeni yabo nezihlobo zabo ba right. Angithi izihlobo zabo ziyaqashwa ngento enxa cadre deployment, imindeni yabo vele is well taken care of njengoba bona be right.
We now invite the Honorable Zungula.
Thank you, Chairperson. We are a nation that is rich in mineral resources, that is powering global economies and driving the future, from platinum group metals to manganese, nickel, rare earth elements, and critical minerals. These are the very resources the world is chasing to build electric vehicles, produce batteries, and transition to clean energy. Yet this blessing has become a curse. While our land overflows with wealth, our people remain poor. We dig, we ship, and we watch the real value sail away. Why are we fueling the economies of other countries, yet ours remain stuck in poverty and unemployment? We are at the top of the list in unemployment, yet we export the very minerals that would create jobs and reduce poverty in our country. In 2023 alone, South Africa exported over 781 billion worth of minerals. That is not partnership, it is a power imbalance. We cannot continue handing over our minerals for others to industrialize while we remain deindustrialized. They say colonization ended, but it returned wearing a different face. Today, it lives in contracts, markets, value chains that we do not control. We export raw value and import finished wealth. That is not development, it is economic colonization. Before we fix other people's economies, let us fix our own. Studies show that if we beneficiate our platinum group metals, we could create over 1 million new jobs and grow the economy by 8 trillion by 2050. Refined minerals are worth 20 times more than the raw ones, yet we continue to export potential and import solutions. Indonesia banned raw nickel exports to build their own battery industry. Today, they are a global leader in the electric vehicle supply chain. Other countries align their education with their economies. They train engineers, designers who turn raw materials into real industries. We must do the same. Let our schools and training centers speak to the wealth under our feet. Minister, we stand at a crossroads. Will we continue to dig and export while our people stay behind? Or will we finally say no more? Will we let other nations grow rich of our resources? Or will we use them to build factories, create jobs, train our youth, and grow strong industries right here at home? The minerals are ours, the opportunity is ours, the responsibility to act is ours. Let us stop exporting our future. Let us refine it here. Let us build it here. Let us prosper here. We do not support this budget. Thank you.
It is clear that unemployment, poverty are deliberately engineered to ensure majority of the people live from hand to mouth. Because when the majority of the citizens live from hand to mouth, their immediate occupation is getting their next meal and not fight for the commanding heights of the economy to be owned by the people. The Labour Department enforcing labour laws on all companies, whether it is in the hospitality, construction, farming industries, would significantly reduce unemployment. The PIC must fund manufacturing-driven initiatives. There can never be economic growth and job creation in a consumerism-driven economy. There are factories all around the country, Mr. President. They are lying idle. There are people who are eager to work, and there's a market for the goods. Why are we importing goods that we can produce in South Africa?
Engabona amaposta abantu abangawabuka ama-portfolio committee bethi into yazo nje uvunguzungulu ukhuluma ngephalaphala ayikho enye into ngoba basho labantu ngoba abakaze bambona futhi abakaze bazipha ithuba lokubukela ama-portfolio committee bemuzwe ukuthi uthini emakhuluma eseparlament. Ngiyithulile nje ngathi ke abantu laba bahlu ukuthi batype noma yini abantu phela bayiphawula nento abangayazi futhi mabefuna ukugxeka bayagxeka nje kodwa nje lento
Power never arrives empty-handed. It comes with a script. And in post-apartheid South Africa, many of us memorized that script instead of rewriting it. We said freedom, but what we negotiated with was access. Access to systems that we didn't design, access to boardrooms we didn't build, access to a state that still runs on the architecture of inequality. Only now the gatekeepers have darker skin, meaning the gatekeepers are people like you and me. They're Black people. And that's where the deception lives. That's because the language sounds familiar. It sounds revolutionary, transformation, empowerment, redress, but the outcome, they look suspiciously familiar. Tender systems that are awarded to the connected, municipalities collapse while officials accumulate, and policies that deliver nothing. And when you question it, you're told to respect the struggle, to remember history. But let me tell you the uncomfortable truth. History is being used as a shield while the present is being looted in broad daylight. A political economy where proximity to power determines survival, where loyalty is being rewarded over integrity, where the poor are not uplifted but managed through grants instead of growth, managed through slogans instead of structural change, managed through elections that recycle the very same promises to the same desperate community. And the most dangerous part is that the betrayal doesn't look like betrayal, it looks like representation. A black face in a high office, a familiar language in a parliamentary debate, a struggle song echoing through a government corridor. But symbolism, without substance is just theater. Because now, if liberation only changes those who benefit from the system and not the system itself, then what you have is not freedom, it's succession. Same extraction, same inequality, same suffering, just politically correct. And somewhere in townships and rural villages, the people who carried the weight of apartheid are still waiting, not for apologies, not for speeches, but for a government that remembers that power was never meant to be something you eat. Power is meant to be something that you use to rebuild, to grow, to restore, to change the outcome. And until that happens, we are not witnessing a failure of a people, no. We are witnessing the success of a system that survived its own defeat.
Angibambi video kodwa ngicabanga ukuthi labantu engibacaphunile lokho abakukhulumele enough kodwa ngiyafisa ukuza ukuphawula kwakho. Ngizwe ukuthi wena ubona kanjani lolu daba nje olwenzekalayo la eSouth Africa yethu ekhululekileyo eholo president wethu our Lord and Savior Cyril Ramaphosa. Uma ngabe iyouth engakaya ibiphumile ethembisa kuphela. Awu imagine nje mase kuthiwa ithembisa phela iphathi eEast Rand kodwa eseceleni. Awu imagine ke iWest Rand. Awucabanga wonke lamakasi. Wonke lamalokishi. Uma ngathiwa uya eKZN, uye eLimpopo, uye eMpumalanga, Northwest, iyouth engasiphume khona engasebenzi iningi kakhulu. Kodwa engikushoyo asiregister for ukuvota. Siyazi isikhathi sokuthi register for ukuvota bese siyahamba siyovota, sivote kahle. Umehluko ke phakathi kwama general elections nama local government elections lo. Lana sizovotela abantu abasebenza ngqo ne-service delivery. Sizovotela abantu esibaziyo. Ngoba umuntu ofuna ukuba ikhansela ngakithi lo esimaziyo thina. Asike siye ukuvotela iqembu. Ake sivotele umuntu esimaziyo. Umvotela kanjani umuntu ohlala esilungwini? Ongazazi inkinga enibhekene nazo. Ngoba wena mawuphuma njalo kini weqindle kunesiwage ihamba la emgwaqweni uyayeqa nsuku zonke. Akayiboni yonke le nto leyo. Kodwa ngoba ukuleli iqembu leli wena olithanda asekelene ukuvotela iqembu. Ama local government elections yiwona la esivotela khona abantu esibaziyo. Umuntu esifuna abe ikhansela lethu siyamazi. Siyamazi kuma meetings, siyazi contribution yanayo emphakathini ngoba ngeke aqala ukusebenzela umphakathi obasesesikhundleni. Kufuneka aqala ukucontribute nokusebenzela umphakathi engakaniki uposition ukuze sibone ukuthi lo muntu mayenganikwa amandla khona inguquko azozenza. Mina nawe sidibana kwivideo elandelayo.